Hi, we're Dan and Essie Maloney from Adcock Prestige, and today we're here to talk about the topic of the month, auctions.
Yeah, and what a great timing to be discussing auctions. In the rest of Australia, it has been a very common practice for a very long time.
Sydney, Melbourne,
Brisbane even. And I feel like on the Gold Coast, it only just started gaining more momentum over the last few years. So even us, once in a while, we deal with a buyer that has a bit of resistance to the process.
Yeah, maybe a bit of uncertainty, not familiar with the process.
Yeah, and they don't really want to participate in the auction process. And we do feel that if all those questions are answered, that it will give a lot more clarity to the benefits. So today we'll be discussing 3 different subjects: how to prepare for auction day, how to deal with pre-auction offers, and what happens on auction day itself.
How to prepare for auction day, the first thing you want to get in check is your finances. You need to have a pre-approval amount, whether you've talked to your financial lender or whether you've talked to your broker. You want to know what you're spending on auction day.
Exactly, and on auction day, it is an unconditional sale.
Yep. Building and pest is also very important. You want to make sure that you understand everything about the project and about the property.
Yeah, very often the agent will provide it for you. Of course, feel free to do your due diligence and do one of your own as well. Now, thirdly, price. Very often, of course, price is a big question from buyers in the auction process. In Queensland legislation, an agent cannot give you an indication of price by law. What they can provide, however, very often is recent sales. So you can have a look at it and exactly compare where you feel this property compares to the other ones that have been selling in the area lately.
It's also really important to familiarise yourself with all the documents. You want to know what the terms and conditions are for auction, what the settlement terms are, and also what the deposit is. You want to make sure that your bank is aware that you're bidding at auction. So if you are required to put down a deposit on the day, more than likely it's 10% of the purchase price, that you have the capacity to do so.
Absolutely. And then last but not least, just go to a few auctions, familiarize yourself with it until you start feeling comfortable with how it all works.
Pre-auction offers. Properties can sell prior to auction.
Absolutely. And in the last 12 months with Adcock Prestige, 60% of our properties have actually sold prior to auction.
Look, Essie and I really recommend when looking at a property that's going to auction, you need to register your interest. If we get an offer prior to auction that the owner's considering taking, we get back to everyone to come through the open home, and those that express the interest will give you an equal opportunity to submit an offer.
Absolutely. And if we end up with 2 offers that are close vicinity to each other, the vendor can just opt to bring the auction date forward. So it is all out in the open and all very transparent. Auction day. Now, this is your last chance to ask questions, so make use of it. The auctioneer will start off by reading the terms and conditions and then talking a little bit in general about the property, and then the bidding will start. Usually it's in the hands of the crowd to start the bidding at a place that you're comfortable with.
Now, most auctions will have properties that have a confidential reserve. Now, once you've exceeded that reserve and you're the highest bidder, guess what? When the hammer drops, that property is now yours. Straight after the auction, you will be required to sign a full contract and submit the deposit that you've agreed upon with the terms and conditions.
So what happens if we don't hit the reserve?
Very good question. If we don't hit the reserve, what generally happens is that the highest bidder has exclusivity to negotiate privately with the seller.
Now, it is quite important and in your interest as a buyer to negotiate and make sure that it sells on auction day, because if not, the owners will be open to receiving all offers, including conditional ones.
Could be subject to finance, could be subject to the sale of their home.
Absolutely, which means that all of a sudden that pool of buyers just increased significantly.
Now, we hope that this has been insightful when it comes to the auction process. If you have any other questions, real estate, make sure to drop a comment below or give us a call.